Roll call, please.
Here.
Present.
Welcome back, everyone. Holy smokes. All right, first item, new business, Ravens site plan. Owner CL Leasing LLC, Rory Ravens, 12528 Wicker Avenue. Petitioner Rory Ravens, 12528 Wicker Avenue. Cedar Lake vicinity, 12528 Wicker Avenue. Legal description, Coffin Business Park. Petitioner is requesting a site plan approval. Petitioner here. You can come to the podium, state your name and address, please.
Rory Ravens, 12528 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana.
Okay. Do you have anything other than all the information that we have in front of us?
The issue, Turinga dropped off the site plan to you guys, and I didn't get it until after that. But I noticed on the site plan that they put 15-foot barrier or landscaping barrier across the whole easement. When I called and asked him about it, he said it was because it was up against residential. The Hen property is actually zoned commercial. And I believe the Altoff piece on the back side of it is actually considered wetlands. And I think they are also going to have a barrier around their neighborhood. So putting the 15-foot kind of defeats the whole purpose of what we were actually trying to accomplish to begin with, you know?
Well, I understand your concerns. And I wish I had page 3 through 8 to look for before tonight, but do we have this on top of anything else, Don?
No,
We
have
really
the
can't
six.
look at this compared to anything else.
What do you mean? Oh, with he's right. When it's platted, the Birchwood corner right there, I believe will be an outlot. And I believe it'll be treed, and it's outside of the wetland area or combination of the both. But he's right. There won't be any active lots, I don't think, right in that corner.
But this piece of property is 580 feet deep. So where's the start finish line for residential and commercial?
I believe Rory mentioned the Hen parcel, which I think is business.
It's
It's technically, yeah. So it doesn't really matter, I guess. And then, the back half of his, which would be, get you a measurement really quick.
Did we vacate the whole road or just half the road, Don?
Half would go to him, and I believe half would go to Birchwood, or all went to you.
It all went to us.
Yeah, it all went. So that's,
Typically, when it's vacated, it's split,
That's right.
correct?
but we vacated the whole because it's county. We own the whole.
It doesn't matter. It would flip. Half would go to the northern parcel, half would go to the southern parcel.
That's exactly how it's interpreted.
But that wasn't what was decided in that meeting.
No, we vacated the whole thing.
You vacated
Well,
the whole
that-
thing.
Look at the ordinance, but Don's right. That's the way the law is interpreted on this type.
It's how a vacation, it splits.
Splits.
Because the north half was out of town.
Well, part of the north half's out of town. Part would be on Birchwood.
Well,
If you don't mind, Altoff agreed to give us the other part, and then the other part was deemed that it was county. And
I remember
in
that meeting that.
in that meeting, you guys approved it all.
Old Talk gave you half of it. That's up to Old Talk. But they have to follow the law at the town council level about street vacations or public way vacations. That's right.
We already went through all that, though, in one of the previous meetings.
Right.
yeah,
And,
I think he got the whole road because we, the town of Cedar Lake, owned the whole road. The county didn't. So we vacated the whole road as though there was no one on the other side.
If we did, that happened. But again, I remember the discussion. It did happen that way because I remember the whole thing about the county and there was the town limits.
Right.
That was, nobody ever just, I don't know what happened after the meeting, but then.
I was told to get the site plans to have it up developed for the whole piece. I mean, that's where we're at with Turinga. I would have never,
Yeah.
that was my instructions from you guys, is to go get the site plans for the whole piece.
So you believe you own it all,
Yeah, that was. what
And-
you guys determined.
and you're,
We're gonna have to look at the ordinance and the document. And I also, as this comes back to me, because this thing straggled over time as you've come here various times. We may have held that ordinance pending this site plan.
that was a condition of vacation. If my memory's correct. That wasn't one of those first reading approval, second reading adoption, off to the courthouse recorder's office. There were conditions.
Go to GIS right now, Don, see what, click on that easement, see who landed, if it's been recorded up at the
No.
courthouse yet.
It's still showing as a public right away. Still showing
Because
gap.
it is recorded. That ordinance.
Yeah, I was under the impression we vacated the whole thing, and the only reason we were able to is because we didn't have any,
I don't.
the whole road was us.
I don't know.
You can't answer.
I remember clearly that, the discussion about the county.
Yeah, there's all kinds of discussion about that, for sure.
That was when Mark Anderson was here, and he had the case studies that were like 105.
Yeah.
Don't bring that up. We disagree.
Well, I know, it's just that you guys that came to that, and you told me what to do, and we started that process.
Again,
So-
I'll need to see the
So,
ordinance.
obviously, there's a few more questions that are going to have to be answered.
To answer your question, it's 320 feet is the length that the Birchwood parcel just kind of butts up against minus the Hens parcel. Give you an idea.
320 feet, and we don't know what the Birchwood buffer is going to look like.
We do. It's on their landscape plan. I can get it to you. Obviously, I don't have it with me, but I don't believe there's any lot that will back up to that 320 feet. I believe it's an outlot. It's just not platted yet. It's just not platted yet.
Shouldn't that landscape plan be embedded into the site plan though for the parcel?
It would be part of their PUD docs.
We made them put the buffer in there.
I remember some of that. I'm just,
It's actually here, yeah.
yeah, I remember some of discussing the corner, the edge, and the curve, and all those things.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely the buffer, that back lot, out just here from Old South Green.
So,
Probably knows best of all.
so Rory, I guess the original question and your concern with what Mr. Tringa put on here is that you want a waiver not to do a buffer.
I mean, it defeats the whole purpose of doing the project. I mean, I guess what I don't understand, if you guys were willing to lease me the property and I could build the whole thing in with, and there was no talk about a buffer, but if I'm doing it on my own, I gotta do it differently. I mean, I don't really understand it.
That's simple. You have a proprietary business purpose to what your use would be. If the town kept it and the town needed it and the town needed to use it for its intended and platted purpose, that's a whole different ballgame. Those are two different uses or style of uses, if you will.
Yeah, but I mean, I had it for the duration of the long time there, so. at that
Well, it
point,
doesn't mean that was right.
I mean, I don't know. It's just
You
getting
parked
real
on there.
You know,
But Hens
I mean, I've been a year trying on this, over a year trying to do this project, and it's like, I'm at the point where I'm almost, like, I need to figure something else out, because I can't hold off business like that.
So how many more parking spaces are you adding then?
It's not just the parking. The problem we have is it's dangerous off of 41.
Oh, that's my next comment.
Yeah, we can't, we're so tight between our parking and our trucks backing into the garage that trucks can't turn around. So they're stopping on 41 and they're backing into the facility. I need this property to be able to create a truck turnaround and just be able to function, you know? We're outgrowing. I mean, we've grown 120% in 2 years. So we're at the point where we gotta decide, can we make this work? Or do we find satellite locations and we move, you know, several of the people out?
Yeah, I mean, that,
You know, I mean, we're just at that point. I'm not trying to be an idiot about everything. I'm just,
Well, I understand.
make this
There's an awful lot,
decision.
there's an awful lot in that spot.
yeah.
There's a lot going on there, and I'm by there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I can tell you that,
I can make it work with all of this, but without it, I can't. You know, I'm just telling you straight up. I mean, that's, you know, but I can't keep going for
Oh,
another
thanks.
6 months. trying
Wow,
to
that's
decide
fast.
what we're gonna do. You know?
yeah, well, again, I haven't had this, this was all gonna be blacktop?
Yeah, it's all gonna be blacktop. It was all, you know,
And-
drainage, everything was all gonna be whatever code was.
And
ordinance 1347.
Is there a lighting?
The real frustrating part about all this is that in the last meeting, I was told to do all this and I got the property. Now I've spent another $13,000 with Faringa to find out you guys aren't sure you're gonna give me the property. You know, that's a little frustrating on my end.
Well, what you're discussing there is between you and the council.
Yeah.
My feeling is this, we're trying to deal with what's right here and you're looking for a waiver of
Well,
a buffer.
my comments, Mr. Chairman, would be the gentleman's trying hard to keep his business in our town. We want to be pro-business. We went, I'm just perusing this now. I don't know what the distance was that we did vacate, but I think that presently we have a existing business that predates this, him having this land. There's county to the north off of US 41. I think we as a council or a commission can understand that its most intelligent intent is business. Maybe to the west, where there's homes, it makes sense to put buffers, kind of like what we approved last night for the person doing the car lot with no cars on US 41. However, this area, I would say if there's homes out to the west of it, yeah, maybe some buffering there, but to the north, I think it doesn't make any sense since A, we don't have it there today, and B, his whole intent was to try to improve this area for safety and
more parking.
and parking, et cetera. So I'm good with not requiring this 15-foot landscape buffer. Maybe we compromise and we do a fence, but I don't even think we need a fence at this point. You might like a fence to block the doggone snow blowing out of the north, but that's,
You know, I might be wrong, but I thought in that meeting that I came to about the subdivision with Alltop, that they were putting some kind of a barrier on that side.
Yeah.
Not really sure what that is, but I thought that comment was made because I had concerns about the noise. You know, me being
Do we-
blamed for noise. should
Yeah.
start swerving more.
Well, and you stood here and said, I'm concerned about what noise there will be, but you're, their job
What's this?
covering you, I'm not sure where we're gonna go with that.
But I just didn't know, I mean, what the purpose would be.
I remember that. I remember the same
Yeah,
thing.
I understand.
If they got one, why do we need one, you know?
all, yeah, Exhibit A, all the part of 30-foot dedicated public right-of-way currently known as 125th Avenue, platted North Street, as shown in Clear Lake Garden subdivision as per plat thereof recorded in plat book 24, page 37. So, Mr. Austin, doesn't it read to you? Do you have a copy of this?
Oh, I have it.
Last page.
The last page?
I read it.
Oh, And is it the whole 30-foot that we vacated?
I can't tell. I don't know if it's on both sides. I can't tell without seeing the plat. There was a plat. I remember we had that.
Is it a 30-foot roadway down?
But it,
Yes.
John, it does describe 30 feet.
Yeah.
For sure it does that.
Yeah, it says 30, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 30 feet what you thought you were getting?
Yeah.
30 feet?
Yeah.
So if that indeed isn't true, you might have even more, but at least the 30 feet satisfies your needs.
Yeah, I need at least that. I mean,
Alright.
if there's more, great.
Right, but if there
I
isn't,
mean, I can use whatever I can get, but.
right now, the 30 feet satisfies your needs and that's what you thought you got.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, here again, that's the town council's.
Yeah.
Baby. Now, my question is a buffer needed for a commercial next to a commercial?
No.
No.
No. So then it's a no-brainer. We can waiver to,
That's what I feel.
yeah.
And the future use of that land will be commercial.
And you're willing to waiver this, Mr. Foreman, when we don't know what their buffer plan, what
Jeff, do you remember what your
Centennial
buffer,
is this gonna be?
We approved theirs.
what your outlot
Theirs
is?
was all approved all the way up to their land
I think when we
because he was
talked
there first.
in that back area along there,
I think he had
that back 200 feet in that outlot, we were gonna do plantings along that south line.
I thought so too.
Yeah, I think, I remember that. Thanks.
And maybe a berm or something, I thought, or something like that.
Well, we have to be careful because there is.
There is wells there, yeah.
So I can't really commit to a berm. because
Yeah.
I really need to know where the wetlands sit. There's, the two parcels come together where their pond drains kind of,
There's a finger.
that's what, you know, works the whole hydraulics of that corner. So I could definitely say that we're gonna plant along there, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to put a berm in just because of. the impact of wetlands.
Right.
So what was your buffer going to be? Refresh my memory.
Plantings, trees, you know, probably some spruce. You know, anytime we're gonna be along somewhere like that, we probably do bigger trees like spruce. We
Like-
probably wouldn't do anything small back there, because that's like the back of an outlot, because there, Don's right, there's no lots that actually touch that.
So you're gonna create a wall of
Oh.
trees.
Forest.
Pretty much.
Have any of you been contacted by the state? Because they plan to put a third lane in there on 41, a turn lane in 2022. And I don't know if they're gonna need part of your property to do that. I haven't seen any plans. Have you done?
That was part of the ordinance. It's section 1, note 1, says they're required to convey and donate any right of way required as part of that project. So no, they're not. They have maybe 15-20% plans together right now. I know they're in the process of doing right of way acquisition, but they have, I think, 200 plus parcels to get right away from.
I would welcome that.
Yeah.
If they're going.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd make it better, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it would.
So yeah, as part of this ordinance, when it becomes recorded, that's one of the requirements.
So Rory, you plan on re-blacktopping just the 580 feet by 30?
Yes. We'll probably do our whole parking lot. I mean, we need some repairs in our current parking lot, so we'll do an improvement on the whole time.
Hey, Don, this retention to the west, is it
Mhm.
presently there? I can't remember.
I believe there is a sort of pond there right now. It's part of the original.
So this engineered plat then has
It appears it's enlarging due to the new
asphalt,
hard surfaces.
non-pervious. Okay, thank you.
So Don, anything else about this that,
No, we just got it on Thursday, so we haven't dug into it that much yet. I'm kind of just looking at it now. It looks like it's just a simple, maybe 20-foot widening of your parking lot to the north effectively.
Excuse me. say-
It's about a 20-foot widening of your parking lot to the north throughout the entire parcel, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go as far as you guys let me go. I mean, I can take the whole 30 if you let me.
Well, I think once you get into the 15-foot building line, then you need a waiver. I don't think you can have parking within the building setback, but that would be up to, I don't know if that's a BZA issue or you can waive it here. Here, yeah, developmental waiver.
Property, you wouldn't necessarily have that, would you?
What?
Where you abuts the county property, there wouldn't need to be that 15-foot building line.
No. You still have a setback there.
But asphalt's temporary
For
surface.
building, not for parking lot.
I thought you couldn't have parking in a building setback either.
Yeah, I didn't think you did for asphalt. Concrete is considered permanent, whereas asphalt isn't.
I thought it was just a building line.
No, I think parking is actually included in it as well.
It's 8, isn't it?
Hmm?
Typically, is it the setback 8?
That's residential.
Well, that's
Yeah.
it, 15 for commercial.
For B3, it's
Parking lot goes all the way to the property line.
Which-
Like that Lincoln parking lot goes all the way to the property line.
Yeah, that for sure does.
Which one?
That new Linda Mulder, it goes right to
Of course it does.
TJT.
Well, TGC's old.
I don't think we're 15 foot off now.
Yeah, no, you're not.
You know.
I mean, it's just a developmental waiver that would go through here if you wanted that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
So that'd be something to go back to Don and tell them to change site plan a little bit. If that's what you're requesting.
that was a waiver for what, Don?
Having the parking area within the side yard setback.
which is what he did incorrectly in the beginning that you're gonna have him correct, right?
Now, this is just gonna be pretty much the driveway, right, correct, along the north end of the line, it's gonna be the driveway, the actual parking spaces will be put on the building like they are, but
The parking we push to the north.
parking spots will be to the north.
Yeah, and then between the two buildings, we won't have any parking so that the trucks can spin around.
So Don, as you've glanced through this, have you seen a lighting plan of some kind?
I have not. Are you guys changing lighting at all or?
There's no lights there.
We just put new lighting on the fronts of the buildings that shine on the whole parking lot all the way across.
Okay. I guess since they're new, they would be subject to the lighting ordinance. Do you guys have specs on that?
I don't, they're all new LEDs. I mean, they light it up really bright.
Okay.
Probably.
Which probably makes it illegal. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm trying to get the list of waivers in my head together and we're up to 5 or 6 now.
I mean,
So is that just a matter of changing the light or is that just?
potentially it's more of a shielding thing to actually have cutoffs on it so it doesn't just go everywhere.
But the lights on the building cutoff will never take care of the lighting that may be needed in the north end of the parking lot.
Exactly. But at the same time, I mean, this site plan is only for essentially extension of his parking area
Right.
and detention. So that would have to be kind of figured out on a code enforcement level, I think. Maybe, depending on how you interpret that.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I think this, we have existing businesses all throughout our community, and they want to improve the premises. I feel as a commission, we have to use some common sense. The lighting is certainly not connected to a Raven site plan with this. And that's how I view it. I mean, I want to be able to try to help businesses and make our town more
I mean,
beautified.
if you were installing your
And-
poles and whatnot with the parking lot, then
But
yeah.
you don't want.
But I don't want them mounting illegal lights, but that's a separate
With
with you. But if somebody does that, that's separate from the subject matter we're talking about tonight. Sometimes I feel like we as a board bring in things outside of the items that our customers, which are our
It's a gray area, John.
residents, you know,
I don't,
it is a gray area.
The lights that we put in can actually be adjusted for power,
okay,
how far out they shoot and brought back. I mean, there's no deflector, but
yeah.
we can change the intensity.
John, you require new businesses
Sure.
coming in on a blank piece of ground.
Yep.
To follow our laws.
Absolutely. New
Well,
and old. If somebody puts the wrong powered lights up on their building, we have a code enforcement officer. He or she should go give a ticket and they need to change them.
Okay, you said
It's
the-
irrelevant
you said the
from
wrong power.
somebody coming into, I'm talking about illumination. I mean, I feel like we always drag new things into the plan commission when it doesn't belong at the plan commission. We're talking about a simple extending of a person's parking lot. It's somewhat, and dare I even say it, like what occurred with Frankie's Barbecue. It's the almost same thing.
You shouldn't dare say.
I shouldn't dare say. But the point is, we always act like somebody's trying to pull a fast one, and the gentleman's here for Raven's site plan.
How many
Extending the asphalt.
many
If the lights
waivers-
are wrong, that's separate.
How many waivers are in your head right now in less than a half hour?
How many waivers?
How many waivers for this property in his request
I
right
think
now?
you just said 4 or 5.
Yeah.
It's probably true.
Right.
But do they all correlate to the parking lot? The lighting certainly doesn't. I feel like sometimes we just waste a lot of time up here.
John,
How could it
the
not?
ordinance condition future use of this property
Mhm.
and the public way vacation on these conditions. You debated this at a council level, you debated this from at a plan commission level previously. This has been on your docket for a year. Mr. Evans, how long have you been coming here?
About a year.
A year?
At least.
Yeah, at least. And that's, we've known from the beginning. And when that condition went on there, and he was represented by council, and Mark Anderson knows what he's doing, even though we don't agree. It's fine. That we're gonna have to have a site plan. And if we say site plan, what does that mean? That means in conformance with our laws. It doesn't mean as the wind's blowing that day. Or this is a different business and a business owner and property than this person. We have to be uniform.
I
And
completely
sometimes
understand.
We're gonna get teed up for picking and choosing.
So where is the definitions of improving a site plan exist within our ordinances?
You have to be code compliant. You have to read these ordinances in toto.
Okay.
And that's what Tim and Michelle do on a daily basis. They read the code in toto and give the outline of requirements to business owners and property owners like Mr. Ravens.
Sure, but Mr. Raven started here at the plan commission a year ago.
Yeah.
And now it's a year and we're bringing up new things. That's the thing that I feel like we sometimes drop the ball and
You know,
add.
There's no simple
at-
piece of
after the
property in
fact.
Cedar Lake. There's not a simple piece of property. This is a commercial piece of property that makes it even more complicated.
If that property would have been
You got
leased to
it.
him, John, who would have had to make the improvements?
Perhaps the town might have,
There was nothing mentioned about lighting.
perhaps, but it's never been brought up
No,
until
no,
tonight.
because you had no intention of leasing it. We're adding to the waivers. The gentleman was given 30-foot of 41 frontage,
That's correct.
and he's had to do the surveys. He's had to invest a fair amount of money in this.
Fact.
And to waive everything that he may or may not want to do
No, I'm,
everybody needs to know what that list of waivers is.
right. And
That's-
I'm just saying, we need to probably then always have those up front. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I feel like if this were me, if this were me, I'd be like, man, why didn't you guys tell me this a year ago? Which he kind of did mention. That's all I'm trying to do is add onto my parking lot to make it safer and have trucks pull in.
And to be safer.
Yeah.
And to be safer.
Yeah.
There may be some lights required.
Yeah.
I don't know what the requirement, that's why I asked about the lights.
I'm with you, Jay.
The site plans have certain pieces of criteria.
Again, the
And-
lighting needs to be monitored throughout our community by code enforcement and assessed all the time
You-
because
you
people
and I-
change signs and
You and
lights.
you and I won't live long enough if we started tomorrow for that task.
Yeah,
It
possibly
would,
so.
we would.
Possibly so. I just feel like, that's kind of a separate subject matter from, hey, the guy's extending his parking lot.
Yeah.
Can you run down the waivers that you're saying propped up in the last half hour?
15-foot buffer,
All right, that's what he's here for.
here for the buffer. The, Don talked about the parking lot being up to the property line. Is that what you were talking
Well,
about?
Within the setback, I wouldn't recommend doing it right up to the property line.
Okay.
However, however far you're gonna allow him to go into it. He's got
Okay.
15 more feet. That's what he's got to the property line right now.
No, he's got 30 to the property line.
Well, no, the way his site plan's showing right now, he's up to his building setback right now.
Oh, I see.
So
what
he
you're
has an
saying.
additional 15 before he gets to his property line.
Gotcha.
Okay, what else?
I guess lighting would be one.
What?
Lighting,
Lighting?
yep.
Be a waiver for lighting.
All right, let me ask you a question on lighting. Where would the lighting go? Would the lighting he have be sufficient? If it's adjusted properly or it's put shields on it or what have you? Or does he need to go at his property line and put up some poles and have them shining to the south into his lot?
I have
What-
no clue. I
what-
don't know what he's got up there now. So that would be a question. We would need to know what he has up now, what the photometrics are, where it actually shines, how bright they are, what kind of glare they got. I can't answer that right now.
So he needs a photometric plan.
He would if you made him comply with the ordinance.
Yeah, and again, if we'd have done that a year ago, I'm good with it. Say, hey, Mr. Customer A, Customer B, Customer C, this is the list of rules that we have for what you need to do. You need to give us this, and that. But due to the fact that we're not, I think we utilize our existing setup for what we do for anyone in our community.
All right, I'm just trying to find out what the waivers
Yep, I'm
are
with you,
here. All
John.
right, well, we got two more?
No, I think that was
I-
the main.
That's all I got
Okay.
for now. Yeah.
The side yard setback is the buffer. That is the buffer, so that encompasses the same way.
Right.
Okay.
Abutting residential, 15 feet, screening, plants 50% wide.
So he has 15-foot buffer on the backside of this?
Right now he does.
So,
Pardon?
Right now he does. Right now he has
And that suffices?
that would meet the ordinance right now for
Okay,
screening and setback.
okay. So all he's really asking for right now, or what the petition for, was to remove the vegetation buffer that the surveyor or engineer put on his site plan, correct?
Correct. And he also said if he can get as much parking as he can to push that parking lot line north into that setback, he would prefer to do that as well.
Which is okay, right?
No,
Isn't that what
That's
Michelle
another way,
said, bring
that's a
it back.
waiver.
Well, we did
That
that
would
for
be a
the
waiver.
new, the Eric Lindenmulder Insurance Building / chiropractor building. His
Okay, so,
asphalt goes
so,
to the next guy's asphalt.
okay,
Yeah.
so, all right.
And this
so
would
that-
go to the property line.
Yeah, property line.
With the side yard and the lighting if required,
well, and screening.
which is the buffer, the side yard. It's
Well,
all,
this is,
it's all
I mean,
one
this,
thing.
this
This-
particular
this-
business is a 4 AM business, right? I mean, so your parking lot lighting is kind of essential to your operation. I mean, so- And it is adjoining a brand new subdivision, and I mean, I feel that the lighting is a super important situation. You know, part of this operation just due to your daily routine. I mean, you guys are dark, working right in the morning, and to have those lights that you're talking about on the building shining directly north is why we have a lighting ordinance, because when you look at it, it's like you're looking at an airplane landing, so. I mean, the whole point of the lighting ordinance is to not, intrude on the.
And we know that NIPSCO runs around and puts lights up that are not in compliance.
Yeah,
They do it all over.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it's a lot. but-
And if
but
I had-
feel
and if I had-
that It's an important part of your, if your business was something that never happened in the
Yeah.
yard.
I mean, if the houses were right up against it, yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, if it's wetlands behind us and it's commercial on the other part, I don't.
Right, we've had a lot of NIPSCO people doing the upgrade electric, and, we've had a lot of people adjust and put shields on because you drive by looking at the light, you know what I mean? But again, I think that you have an adequate light to do your thing for trucks going in and out of safety and whatever is something that, I mean, essentially, this whole project is based on you being able to run your business more safely and with enough space to do your thing, so, to build the parking lot according to, those guidelines is good. I mean, it's a good
Okay, so we're okay with eliminating the vegetation buffer that's on the site plan. We're okay with that. We're okay with giving him a waiver to move his parking lot to the property line. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the only thing we're in dispute on is lighting, correct?
And the lighting on this building may be adequate.
All right, let me finish. Do you agree to comply with the codes? Yes or no? Yes, with the lighting codes. So if Tim or Don or somebody goes out there and says, your lighting's okay, it's good. If they say, no, you need to put an extra light in here or you need to aim it down, you'll do that, right?
Yeah, and I guess my question would be, is that eliminating all the lights on the building? Because to Tim's point, that may be a problem.
Well, we don't know until it's looked at.
It wouldn't necessarily be eliminating.
It would be eliminated.
Shielded or, the projection of the light would be limited to
Right.
So what I'm
Honestly,
saying, go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be more in the camp of just doing that and just having less lighting in the parking lot, than spending a ton of money. putting
Well,
something that-
that's something that has to be worked out. So they need to look at it, which can this be done in the next 2 weeks?
Maybe. I mean, the commercial lighting in our ordinance is, obviously zero, basically cut off at your lot lines and have coverage. Whether or not he actually needs that for this piece of property is debatable. So there may be an ultimate waiver just based on if the lighting out there works with what he has now, even for his new setup. And it doesn't necessarily, it likely won't meet it for getting illumination for every part of the parcel. Or there may be some glare at the northern property line, but where this parcel is situated, the use he has it for, it may not make sense to really do a wholesale light, renovation, like putting in poles on the north side. That can get expensive.
Okay, but my point being is,
Yeah.
we agree If he comes back next, in 2 weeks, we agree that we're gonna give him a waiver for getting rid of the vegetation. We agree we're gonna give him a waiver to move his asphalt to the property line. All right, we agree that if he complies with the lighting ordinance based on inspection, that
We can certainly have more
We're good.
information in 2 weeks from his engineer about what is out there now and how that lights the facility up. And we can go from there.
And that's what I'm saying, because I mean, he come in here and got kind of blindsided here about all this 5, 6, 7 waivers, and now we're down to 3.
John, his engineer knows what criteria is supposed to go on a site plan.
He did, right here. Yeah, he did.
Tringa,
Tringa did it.
no, everything that's supposed to be on a site plan.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I mean, this is not the first time Mr. Tring has done one of these. And yeah, everybody wants him to be able to function better in there. Everybody,
Yeah.
including me.
But Mr.
Get-
Tringa
get-
probably doesn't realize,
I
I'll bet he
understand.
doesn't, that
Okay.
he has to go back to the,
And ultimately, our job up here is to look out for the taxpayers. Our job is to look out for the
future-
people that Jeff's gonna sell houses to.
future people. Fact, 100%.
So I guess I have to ask, Jeff, are you comfortable with the way the lights are on Rory's building now? Have you ever been out there in the dark?
So I was out there actually last week just to see if our streetlights were all working properly. Good news is they were.
That is good news.
I can't say that I really noticed the lights off his building, but I mean, I have no problem in the next 2 weeks taking a ride out there at night just to see how it looks. And
Well, your opinion would be good.
Yeah.
Don's opinion would be good. So we need to, Yes, sir.
President, lest we forget, Mr. Tringa designed Wicker Meadows storm drainage. Lest we forget. And I would suggest that Mr. Ravens have Mr. Tringa come in here and visit with Mr. Oliphant and Mr. Kubiak and go through this. So that we don't miss anything, so that you're fully abreast of what needs to be done, and your engineer knows, and our staff is good with it, and our engineer checks off on that list, and when we come to the next meeting, Mr. Cooper can ask, what are we doing? Boom, 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 and we're done. Staff level conference at this point seems appropriate, so that you get a straight answer and a straight story. The questions are well made, John. Lest we forget and repeat our mistakes.
all right. I want to ask a Zoomer, but there's nobody Zooming.
No.
Heather, any thoughts?
Not right now, no. I'd like to see I'd like to figure out the lighting situation for the new portion of the parking lot. That's my only thought.
Chuck, any thoughts? John, you're good?
I'm good.
I'm good with what
You're
John
good.
Uh, Kapora brought up.
Yeah, I'm good with,
Mr. Sharp?
good, sure.
Mr. Carnahan?
You just took the mountings for all the lights and replaced them with LED. You didn't,
That's all we did.
and I would think LEDs are not as abrasive as the other lights.
These
They can
light-
be.
These lights can get bright.
They can be.
But they have a setting on them where you can turn them up, you can turn them down. You know, so right now we had them turned up a little bit higher, just because we function better. But they don't have to be. Our prior lights were never that bright. So, they don't have to be. You know, we have the ability to turn it down to a comfort zone so that they're comfortable or whoever's next to us is comfortable. There ain't no
John.
problem.
The
I'm kind of in agreement with John that the light stuff should have been told to him a year ago or so. And I don't want to see a business leave town because that's a tax base. And that they pay 3%. And if he leaves and we lose that tax, it goes to the residents to pay that tax. So he mentioned about maybe moving some of it out, but I would like him to keep it all here and for us to work as good as possible with getting him to do what he needs to do, but try and keep the costs down.
I want to make sure no one's standing at this podium complaining about what's going on at C&L Vending.
Okay. I understand that.
That's all.
Yeah. well,
That's
it
all.
As a
makes- it
matter of
makes
safety, the
perfect
lighting
sense.
is important, just safety alone.
Yeah.
That's all it boils down to, for me at least.
Yeah.
Safe for him, safe for your employees, safe for the traffic that's coming on 41. I mean, that's just like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
We're not trying to chase you out. I mean, we all want you here. We want to help you out as much as we can, but it has to be safe, right?
All right, Mr. Kubiak, anything else?
No, I don't have anything. I guess I don't, I mean, we have an ordinance, we have rules. I don't know who is supposed to tell everybody everything that they need on a plan.
An engineer knows
I know, I
what,
mean, but
'cause
like the Bob's comment, you know, like, or, you know, I mean, like, nobody has a communication with these people that tells them every single, we don't know what they have in their minds and what they want to do. We don't have this site plan until today either, so as far as getting blindsided and all that stuff, I mean, it's very hard to sit here and figure out how that could go any better when you know, like you said, engineers draw the plans, people know the rules, you know, everybody knows the ordinances, but
Yeah.
until this point in time, we don't, you know, nobody really, you know.
Well, you saw this
I mean,
today
yeah,
for the
yeah,
first
yeah,
time
yeah.
also?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
So I mean, again, though, I mean, you know, I mean, the communication level isn't, it's not a mystery to anybody, but it's not from lack of, you know, I mean, I don't know.
I understand.
And again, you know, like when he came in and said he wanted to vacate the road, you know, it's a great, you know, I mean, it's a pretty good feat that he got to where he's getting to this point where he is. He got the road vacated, got everything on, but you know, to actually sit down and go through what might be required of him in the future is kind of, you know, that's a difficult task, I guess, to think of how that can be accomplished to be any smoother for anybody, you know, it's just,
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
you won't get it from us tonight, but in a month, you're going to receive recommendation from your staff, myself included, about a procedure of adjustment, how these matters work. And you're going to see, and it's purely your call at the end of the day, if you review and revise a set of rules and policies, procedures, if you will, all permitted by Indiana code, that on commercial properties especially, and large residential parcels and projects included, that there be mandatory staff level meetings in advance of coming to your body, BZA also. Just so we don't have this. And there can be then an identification. Every other community I work in has a TAC meeting, a staff meeting. It's a prereq to getting in front of the body. You can't even get up and say hi until you've met with staff and they've had that first bite, if you will, at, you know, what you're asking for, what you need, what our rules are, what our laws say, what our regulations are.
And that'll be a wonderful thing for everyone.
So all we do when we do this is we flounder.
Right. I completely agree.
That's coming in a month,
Yes, it is.
Good deal.
and it can be on the agenda as far as I'm concerned. We shall make some time.
it's on there.
Yeah, it's definitely coming.
I can tell you it's sitting on my desk in draft.
And it's going to be wonderful for especially the customer. Because it doesn't matter what customer it is that comes in, we always find ourselves up here not having the details and I's dotted, T's crossed, and it's embarrassing.
All the way around.
Yep.
Kind of a checklist of what they need to do and
Absolutely.
work it out within staff and that.
TAC meeting, staff meeting, whatever we end up calling it here, that's exactly what'll happen, Bob.
Don't you agree?
I guess then, Rory, do you have any questions?
I really don't know where I'm at, so. Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Trang and him should make an appointment and see Mr. Oliphant and our team. That's really where you're at.
Yeah, it sounds like the buffer, the setback, sounds like the buffer, the setback and the lighting are the main things. And it seems like from Jerry asking everybody around, when John Capura got done talking, that everybody was in compliance with that mindset, so.
And I
think that idea of Mr. Tringa coming in and sit with them is a smart idea also.
Yes.
Just so we got it on paper and we're done in 2 weeks, because asphalt season's running out. If he wants to do that now, he's got about a month.
You know, the best presentation for Mr. Ravens and we met with staff, we went over this project, we went over the requirements of the town, and here's our drawing. This is what we would like. And to have your staff sit up smartly and say, yes, we met with them, this is the plan, they followed our laws, and now it's up to you.
Something that I would like to see, just that while you're talking to your engineers, actually, the parking lot plan that your plans for parking, showing the spaces and how the site's gonna function as a
So it's
whole.
not even the
so that
whole
way
thing.
Everybody could see
Right?
why that needs to be to that 15 feet.
No, I guess it's
And
not.
it shows.
It just shows that buffer. and
You
it
know, I
doesn't
mean,
really give
looking
you a
at
good.
this, it's,
I actually thought I was gonna have that.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought it was
part of the
gonna be
site
there,
plan.
yeah.
Now, that's a
that would
plan.
go a long
That's
way
a
to
parking lot.
understanding.
It's all,
I actually
it's all
thought I
part
had
of it.
that,
Yeah,
but
it's
it
not in
didn't show.
No, it's not.
And
And he thought it
That
should have been.
drainage out, because that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, what,
beneficial to-
what we have here is fantastic. And yes, Mr. Tring is not a rookie. I mean, we have a topo here that I would have never thought I was going to see tonight.
Yeah, me neither.
I would never have thought, but
$13,000 worth engineering here is what he sounded like.
sounds like he still, Mr. Tring owes him a little more.
Got my heart.
probably just charge me a little more. That's all.
I'm not sure. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I'm
he
not
may
sure
not,
about that,
Roy.
Rory.
He may not.
You're a pretty good negotiator from
Yeah.
what I've seen over the last year. All right. Does anybody have any other questions, comments, anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Rory, you're pretty sure you know which way you're going? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Yep, thanks, sir.
All right. Item number 2, Price Point Builders rezone. Owner Wintering LLC, 1201 North Main Street, Crown Point. Petitioner Price Point Builders LLC, PO Box 1343, Crown Point. Vicinity is 14530 Wheeler Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. The legal description is quite a few lots out of shades addition. Petitioner is requesting a rezone from residential multifamily zoning district to residential R2 zoning district. All right, is the petitioner here for this? And you knew that? Okay. Well, you said that like,
No, I just, no.
okay.
Hey, so Michelle, this is another RM multifamily that we don't even have on the radar, isn't it?
Right, and they just want to build a single family.
Thank
home, so
God.
They just want to reduce it from multi-family to a single family.
Do we know what year some of these multifamilies were given out in the
This
middle of
thing
the
was
country?
torn down about 5 years ago, it was
Yeah.
a little 4-unit thing in the middle of nowhere, so.
So somewhere along the line, someone in the town of Cedar Lake gave them approval to build the 4-unit or
Zoned-
county?
zoned RM.
Yeah, geez.
So Mr. Foreman, what's your hunch on why they're not here?
Oh, I have no idea who they are. I don't know. They probably think, my hunch is, it looks like by looking at the map on my Google Maps, that they have a bunch of lots in the back. They're changing them from RM to RT or R2. They're probably like, it's a no-brainer. The town's gonna let me have it. That's my
Same
guess.
builder who came in 127 block of right.
Missed 7 meetings.
My point,
That's what he came in for and combined a bunch of lots over there behind the studio.
well, my point being in 2 weeks, if the petitioner shows up with everything, and nobody's had time to look at, he's gonna want some approval. So,
Again, people are supposed to come to a work session
Yeah.
to be on.
To make the
I mean,
thing, yeah.
That should be a pretty, if you don't want to come to the work session, you're on for the next work session, if you're lucky not to.
We'll make sure that's in the rules of procedure that we're going to provide.
Good.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great.
does anybody have a problem with this petitioner being put on the next work session? If he
No.
solicits, to be on the meeting in 2 weeks?
No, I'm fine with
Well,
that.
you're not gonna
be at the meeting in 2 weeks, right? Because you can't.
Might,
That's the point.
he might.
He might show up, but
He might.
Might
'Cause
show up.
This is straightforward. It's easy. Maybe.
It is a zone change.
Yeah.
Will require a public hearing. We didn't advertise a public hearing, did we? We did. Can we pull it?
for when 2
We
weeks.
do.
From RM to R2, we need this to happen.
Yeah, we need
We're gonna
to.
apply to build a 4-unit building on this lot next week, so.
Okay,
it's like-
I would agree with Tim.
It's not good, but it's a lot for the two people.
so if the petitioner doesn't show up, that really goes against what we just said. We need a petitioner.
Right. I agree, but this is like one of them, like,
This is bad,
Yeah,
it's just
bad, good.
where this is.
No bueno.
Bad, good. That's right.
bad
All right.
feeling of it.
All right.
We want the people here, but in this case,
It wouldn't be very often I would say it, but this is one of them, like,
Did he fill out an application for a zone change?
Yes.
Okay.
So-
All right, then you got.
Isn't it, don't you have a folder?
yeah,
We're talking.
So does anybody have any questions about anything else about this?
No.
Thoughts, questions, anything? No?
So we're gonna allow him to be here if he shows up in 2 weeks.
If he shows up in 2 weeks, he shows up in 2 weeks.
If he doesn't go forward anyway.
yeah, make the change.
We
He
can,
applied.
we can
Make
go
it
forward
done
without
deal.
the petitioner being here.
Oh, yeah.
You now have a R2 lot, sir.
Do we
Thank you.
need someone at the podium to approve it?
You don't. John,
Okay.
he filled out the application.
Okay.
that's exactly, yes,
That was his request.
right, perfect.
All right.
I love it.
Okay. Item number 3. Viking Build Homes LLC. Owner Viking Build Homes LLC, 7611 West 140th. Petitioner is Michael Tiller, 9204 Bryan Lane, Crown Point. The vicinity is 7611 West 140th Avenue, Cedar Lake. The legal description is quite extensive. The petitioner is requesting preliminary plat and final plat for a 1-lot subdivision. Is that petitioner here? Perfect.
Michael Tiller, 9204 Bryan Lane, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Pretty much here to answer any questions for a 1-lot subdivision. It's a lot, we got, just what's on the record, this is not related to Schilling Development, typically who I'm representing. This is for myself, for just to build a new home. So I working with DVG on site plan, pretty much the preliminary and final plat, which I think done. We got his comments back late this afternoon. But pretty much answer any questions.
All right.
It's here now.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Open land. It's just grass. And then there's like part of the board. There's some trees.
It's off 140th,
It's up on the screen.
just south of Yacht Club. I mean,
I'm
Lighthouse.
looking at it on the map, I just wasn't sure.
Is this out? Okay, it's
Yeah,
out.
there's the lighthouse.
Okay.
So you come off
Oh, it's down
140th.
there. Okay.
It's almost to Cedar Point Park, or Toomey's. It's almost to Toomey's.
How big's the lot?
It's 100 by 90, 100 wide by 95 deep. So it isn't your typical depth, but I did have a house plan pretty much made to fit without any variances.
Oh, nice.
And you have, you understand all Don's comments here?
Yeah,
I think the,
For what?
Be a waiver for lot depth.
What is it? 100 by what? What is it? I'm sorry.
100 by 95.
It meets the lot size, it just doesn't meet, it's 5 feet off of the.
Yeah, 100 by 100 for an RC.
Oh,
does everybody see the waivers that Don has on his list?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
They're all pretty standard for 1-lot subs.
Okay. Looks like it.
Comments
It's,
are generally minor.
Page 1.
oh, did I go
Is
past
it
it?
two?
Oh, right here? Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I'm
right
sorry.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
And your house fits in there, right?
It does.
Yep.
Yeah, so I did
No
make it
variance.
fit. So
You don't even need variances? No?
Nice job.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
like you've been here.
I know.
See how smooth that
I
is?
know.
It's like crazy.
Easy.
Wow.
Can't
Is
have
it-
both in one night, though.
No, I'll only 30 days.
You got
obviously.
30 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured just get up.
He really knows everything.
Wow, you should teach a class on this.
Yeah, it does.
We should have had him first on the agenda.
I got other
He
things
just
too
proved that.
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I don't have any questions.
I
Don,
don't.
Don, any other thoughts, caveats?
No, the comments on the letter are very minor and typical. We haven't seen the final plat yet, though, but Glenn's pretty quick at
He
DVG.
sent it over.
Did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
He did.
he sent it over.
I don't anticipate any issues with it.
And,
Okay.
yeah, he put the the building setbacks on it already.
I figured.
Can we have that emailed to us? Can you get it? Yeah.
I thought it was in there.
Hit send?
Did you see?
I thought you were doing that new wave thing.
It's in
Ends
there.
with a thumbs up.
It's in there.
It's in where? Here?
That's me. Next page.
It's in there. Preliminary and final is both in there.
Oh,
I didn't
got
get
it.
that.
Sorry.
You still want us to email it to you?
No,
Please don't.
Do you want to send that?
No.
I didn't get it.
I want Tim to email it to me, only Tim.
I can.
And only to you.
Send it to me. I
I
didn't
sent
get
it to
that.
those-
we don't need the internet shut down.
Right.
Except us.
Mr. Carnahan?
I told Michelle to send that because I didn't get that letter from Don. I got a letter for Centennial, but not that.
You see it
What's
in
on your
the, it's in
computer?
your computer, Bob.
I don't play with that.
You don't want to touch it?
No, all right. I like hard copies.
It's hard to pay attention when you're playing with the computer.
Right.
Trust me, Bob. All right, Heather,
That's what you-
questions?
I don't have anything, no.
Chuck, questions? Mr. Kapora,
Nothing right now.
nothing? Mr. Foreman?
thumbs
good?
up.
Everything?
Yeah.
Welcome to town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Hope you can flip it.
And, yeah, buy some more of these and do the same thing.
Buy some tear downs,
Buy some tear downs.
please.
Let me get one done first.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The only,
Yeah, buy, build, repeat.
Yeah,
That's what we want.
there we go.
BDR.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
good luck to you.
Have a good night. All right. Item number 4, Hanover Development LLC, final plat. Owner Hanover Development LLC and Hanover Farms LLC, 8051 Wicker Avenue, St. John. Petitioners Hanover Development LLC, 8051 Wicker, St. John. Vicinity is 12400 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a final plat for Birchwood Farms Phase 2, 25 lots and 2 outlots.
Good evening, Jeff Yatsko with Old Top Homes, 8051 Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're trying to find a plat, 25 lots, 2 outlots for Birchwood Farms. Utilities are in, roads are in, as-built are to Don, schedule of values. I just sent those today, so he's reviewing those, but everything's been submitted. So we're just looking to get final plat.
All right. Don?
We are looking at it. We pretty much have our final, the plat review is done. We're just kind of been waiting on some of the quantity reviews and the actual letter of credit amount. So that'll be set before the next meeting, see how much stuff we can get done, approved and stripped out of it. So that'll be hopefully presented maybe end of this week, and it may come down a little further depending on how far we get on inspections and as-bills.
Okay. Jeff, I have to ask, these 25 lots are going to be on the south end or the north end?
Both. So there's some on the south and then some on the north.
Are these lots on the south going to be along the property that we were discussing?
They are not.
Okay.
So the lot numbers, you know what they are?
What's
Here,
happening?
you want to,
Not off the top of my head,
yeah,
but-
please. Just so everyone, because we're all looking at that
Yeah, so
picture.
it's Ontario Place. So if you look at the north-south road in Ontario Place, so it's all of those lots.
Right
Okay,
here.
It's the west side of 124th, so it's 44, like 15 to 20, 44 to 46,
okay,
and then 50 and 51 just north of those.
gotcha.
John, if you look up there, they're essentially extending Ontario Place up. So they're gonna platting some in
Oh,
here,
okay,
and then the others will be west down here.
perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
Building that buffer by Rory's place before he,
Yeah.
no, I'm just
We would
kidding.
like to. We,
I didn't want to go there, I'm terrible.
Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't want you to think we're gonna make it your problem.
oh, no, absolutely.
Because I mean, you know, again, it was, it's waiver, and so,
Yeah, I mean, we do plan on planting in there, and like I just mentioned, I mean, we do have some wetland issues in that corner.
Mhm.
So we just have to be careful what.
is that where all the dead trees are? Kind of north,
I
north?
don't- I'd have to go out there and look
Okay.
at it again.
If,
just
if
to make sure.
anyone up here hasn't driven through this subdivision, it's a pretty cool subdivision. Out in the back there, it's gonna be beautiful.
Yep.
When next phases get built and stuff, to have a home out there, it's gonna be an awesome place.
Yeah, I think the whole west side of that is gonna be really nice in the trees.
It's gonna be
I agree.
great property.
All right. Heather, anything?
Nothing.
Chuck?
No.
John?
Nope.
John's good.
Sure.
John Foreman's
good.
good. Mr.
Sure.
Sharp's good. Bob Carnahan?
Yep.
Everything's good. All right. Michelle, Tim?
I'm good. We're working on the addresses. There's just a couple things that he's
Yeah.
gonna do at the same time with Don. And
Yeah, if I get comments from Don, I'll add those. If not, if there's no comments for the plat, then I'll add those and I'll have that ready.
Okay.
Very good.
All right.
All right.
Well, I guess buy, build, repeat.
Thank you.
He only hopes so.
Thanks, Jeff.
Many lots.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Here.
Now the other hat. is on, huh?
Yeah, the other half.
Ledgestone.
No, wait. Don't-
Now we got Beacon,
Beacon Point.
another number
number
four,
four.
number 4 again. Okay, Beacon Point of Cedar Lake LLC, Beacon Point East, Phase 1, final plat. Owner petitioner, Beacon Point of Cedar Lake LLC, 8900 Wicker Avenue, St. John. Vicinity is 9000 West 141st Avenue, Cedar Lake. The petitioner is requesting a final plat for Phase 1. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yep.
State your name and address for the record.
Michael Tiller with Schilling Development, developers of Beacon Point. We're here tonight to request our final plat in 2 weeks for our first phase of Beacon, what's known as Beacon East, which is on the east side of the railroad tracks. Improvements are going fairly quickly. Underground work is almost complete. We just had it lime stabilized, had our roof roll. So we're hoping to have curbs and pavement done next week. 2 weeks from now, actually right before the final plats are for the 21st meeting. I know we did have the comments from Michelle on 2 addresses. So we did agree to change Harbor to Austin and Booth Bay to Deodar. So I know Jack Holes had updated that late this afternoon too. And
Yeah, I
the
got
final
that.
plat.
Yep.
So
Don, do you have any comments on this?
Very similar to Birchwood. We're kind of in the middle of the plat review right now. We just got some estimated values from Jack Holes today. We've been looking at it at the same time too. So we'll have more likely next week on this one. But as far as the plat goes, I mean, it's 24 lots, I think.
Yeah.
Some are or some are duplexes, right?
Yeah, there's like 8 duplexes and the rest are cottage homes.
Okay. So you're talking 28 units then for this unit? And yeah, they've already got the sub base approved. I'm guessing you guys want to try to get pavement in before.
Yeah.
So we'll be kind of working up against to get a number for the letter of credit. So
Okay,
we'll have more in 2 weeks.
I do have a question, Don.
Mm-hmm.
That retention pond,
Mm-hmm.
Quite a retention.
yeah, is that, that doesn't need any safety fence around it because it's the way it's tiered? It's all okay the way it is?
I think we have some fencing that's supposed to go in along their entrance drive, the proximity there. I think everything else actually meets setbacks. It's going to look a lot less deep when the normal water level fills in.
It has significant.
Well, yeah, I'm
It's
just thinking
quite
that's,
deep right
that's
now.
quite a hole.
Yeah, it'll
It'll always
fill
be
in,
that deep no
so-
matter how much water's in it.
Yeah.
So,
No, we
That's
have
why you're
some
president.
fencing on there. I don't remember exactly where it's at, but there is some.
Wow.
But no,
You're
it's
walking
deep.
out of it.
well,
You gotta
that's-
swim to get out.
Well, that was
It's
kind of,
not
that's
like
kind
that.
I mean,
It's
all
like-
I say, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm saying. Because it's tiered that way, it's okay as far as safety goes.
Well, there are built-in safety ledges in there, which you won't even see. I think they're actually like 6 inches below the water level when it actually fills in. So that's one safety measure. And then we have a setback requirement from the right-of-way line,
Okay,
which I believe they meet, but I think they have some fencing on the entrance drive. I'm not 100% sure though.
all right.
Yeah, and the one in the Beacon Point West looks equally as deep. Over where we did, you know, the core project, Maplecroft one.
They filled it back in though. It's not deep. It's not deep anymore. We just had to borrow some clay.
Oh, I see.
So it's filled. It's
Oh, is it built back in? Yeah,
It's
that's okay.
normal now. We just had to.
So that all you dirt you put back in there will be in the lake in the spring?
No.
Okay.
It was pretty deep. for a
It's
while.
seeded well.
That
Just
was pretty
asking.
wild. That was cool, kind of.
John now.
No. That was pretty cool hole. I like it.
The seat is taking well on that thing.
Yeah,
Very well.
Sure
The way they
has,
do the
yeah.
dirt moving is amazing.
It is, but you know, you don't want a 7-year-old drowning.
Right. And that's what Jerry was alluding to, I think.
That's what I'm.
That ledge in that pond is trippy looking.
You're not walking out of it,
No,
just like you
you
said.
gotta swim. Yeah, you're not walking out.
So, back to the safety question.
That's the
Your
center of
your
the
lawyer's
pond,
telling you
on the
there's an
backside.
attractive nuisance. You can take a picture of it, put it in the dictionary, there it is.
Once you walk past that far into the water, you have to walk into the deep part, you know what I mean? So it's not like you walk and fall in.
But when
No, yeah.
the pond is full of water, how deep is it going to be in the center?
In the center,
it's like 12.
yeah, I think we require 10 feet
Okay.
for wet bottoms so they don't stagnate.
Gotcha.
12, 15 feet deep. Like I said, it'll be 6 to 8 inches above the safety ledge.
Right.
Obviously now it's, again, yeah, it's scary. to look
Yeah.
at.
It's scary looking, there's no doubt. If, yeah, you, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What's scary is when there's little kids there and there's one less.
Yeah,
That's what may be scary.
We actually don't have depth maximums in the ordinance.
We don't, but we have common sense and safety.
Yes.
And we have the ability to adjust our stormwater requirements to accommodate common sense and safety.
Yes.
And I trust you, John, to do that for us.
We will be changing the ordinance this winter.
That doesn't take care of this hole right now.
I know.
in This place.
Yeah,
Right
if there's
now-
something you
Every
see,
wet pond we have is 10 feet deep.
but are they built like that? I guess I've never seen it until this
Looks
one.
like Doug Blank could put a
And they're
diving
tiered.
board on the backside of his house and do an Olympic dive and made it. It looks like.
Listen, and if there's a light pole behind Doug's house, John's getting the zip line up.
There you go.
We're going right to the pond.
I guess the funny part is all the ponds are that deep, but when they've been constructed, nobody ever sees
We
them.
didn't see it, yeah,
It's
yeah.
exactly
It's
right.
weird.
The one in Deacon Point, the south one's deep.
Nobody ever sees, I mean, nobody's ever built a pond like this in this type of season around here that it's just dry. I mean, normally they're pumping in order to get it full and you never see it without water. Like this.
Beacon Point, the south pond in Beacon Point was equally as deep. You don't see it anymore 'cause it's filled in.
They're all that deep, you just don't see it.
Something doesn't seem right about it going forward.
I'll keep it in mind when we do that.
Okay, so how about some security now for this particular pond?
Well, right now, as far as I know, it meets guidelines of the ordinance,
What about this?
including setbacks.
What can we do to make it safer? I mean, are we kind of just out of options?
I mean, you can restrict the depth if you want. I don't think developers, I know why they dig it deep, because they need structural.
I guess
fill
I
out,
was thinking the ledging.
Well, yeah, I don't. Someday there'll be some fish in there. So
Yeah.
let's not ruin that.
Well, that's why it's deep.
However-
That's why you have your maximum depth requirements, you know,
Right.
fish kills.
However, when you know what I mean?
I mean, you can increase your setback requirements. You can have a hardcore requirement about fencing around the entire perimeter. Right now, it is only required generally, it's recommended. But it's only a requirement if it's a certain right-of-way width off your right-of-way. That makes sense. They need to keep whatever your right-of-way width, they need to keep a right-of-way width off the back of that right-of-way. So in this case, it's 60 feet. They need to keep the high water level point of that mark 60 feet away from your right-of-way. Otherwise, they have to provide berming. It's more vehicular related versus pedestrian related safety. There isn't a lot of pedestrian related safety besides the safety ramps, the safety ledging and all that. Those are your kind of your safeties for pedestrians. There are other things you can do. You can require less steep side slopes. I think we go up to 4-1. You can make your maximum side slopes 6-1, 7-1, make it really, make it a lot more broader, less steep. That's one way you can go. Right now it's 4-1. You can increase that. We don't allow 3-1. It is mowable, but it is steep at that point. So I think they're 4-1 out there now. So, which obviously developers are going to take advantage
The
of.
Schaumburg and Palatine and Arlington Heights, they allow that 4-1.
Probably.
Really?
4-1's a normal. I mean, we try to keep side slopes on residential lots 4-1 to 5-1. Once you get steeper in that, while they are technically considered mobile, they do get pretty steep. 3-1 is rather steep.
Yeah.
I guess is that, I mean, that pond is designed being dug like that, so it doesn't grow algae, that's why they make it 10 feet deep, or else it's just a big green blob of cesspool, so. That's
That's
why
a
they
good
do
point.
it like that, and they put the fountain in the middle, and it keeps, that keeps that water looking like a nice retention pond.
Well, it's a fish kill thing too. You need 10 feet if you actually do end up putting fish in there. If you put it less than that, it'll freeze and it'll die.
Right.
And you have a bunch of fish floating in the spring.
Yeah. Yep, you would.
I was just curious. Yeah, you're right, Tim. We've never seen the inside, the making of a retention
I mean,
pond.
all those ponds in Centennial, all through there, it's exactly the same thing.
Wow.
It's just you never see it.
Have you guys ever done anything over and above for a pond like that? Anywhere?
What do you mean over and above?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just meant for just pedestrians.
For safety.
I mean, they're
Well,
doing
like
something
say-
unique in Beacon 5 where it's kind of a hybrid between a wet bottom pond and a dry bottom. It's almost like what you consider a wetland bottom pond almost, where it's shallower. It's meant to have very little water in it, but it's supposed to support, different plant life.
You said Beacon 5.
Over by the,
So Beacon West, I guess.
over by the,
Centennial Estates.
where the, yeah, I remember that discussion.
They're
where
digging it
the
right now.
Benches are going and all that.
Yeah, it's a little different. It has its pros and its cons too.
This one's just taking a little bit longer to fill up. typically.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I had a question for Michelle. Why did you make them change the street name to Deodar?
So it lined up with the
The
grid.
grid,
They line up north, kind of.
But,
I mean, they
but that,
intersect, but-
that kind of runs on a diagonal.
It straightens out and ties into Whining Creek. Yeah.
We went over it together with the police chief. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let her.
No problem, no problem. Okay, that's all I had. I was
Just so
curious.
they line up with the grid, so they know where those roads are.
I see.
All these fancy names confuse the hell out of
I got you.
public safety people.
Yeah.
I don't even like the word deodorant.
And,
Just don't,
Must have been there
Deodorant?
before, huh?
deodorant?
no, just. I
Even
just
though it
don't
doesn't
like
line
the-
up perfect, it's still the vicinity, so they know.
And they can find.
Gotcha.
We went all the way north and south to try to find the best roads that would line up.
So we have another deodorant in our town?
Whining Creek.
Oh, okay, Whining Creek.
Everywhere.
There you
Everywhere too. North of 30,
Tim, it's in your
south of
subdivision.
30, Cherville, it's everywhere.
The next road from Dodge Street is Deodar.
Is it?
Winding Creek 2 is Deodar.
All right.
It doesn't smell or anything, but it's called.
Good one.
Mr. Carnahan, you have any questions or thoughts?
No.
No? Mr. Sharp?
No, just for Don to work on anything safety related.
Mr. Foreman, any other thoughts?
Nope.
You good? Mr. Cora?
Nope.
Chuck? Heather?
No, sir.
Everybody's has no questions. All right. I guess see you in 2 weeks. All right.
You've had some good weather, haven't you,
Now,
for doing that? It's been dry and a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit of
been
rain.
dry.
and-
We wish a little bit more rain, just to
Yeah.
eliminate some of the dust,
Yeah,
dust control. But
yeah. Well, that happened early, but you guys came out and got the water trucks and stuff.
Yeah,
so-
yeah,
Or
water
Dyer
trucks are
did, or
going every
whoever
day.
did.
So
yeah.
they tapped into
No, I
our,
know. Yeah,
water
Fire
and
hydrant,
they
yeah.
put a meter on it and
yeah.
paid us for it.
We did make the connection under the railroad tracks.
Oh, good.
So that's all done. Okay, okay.
Did make the connection under the railroad tracks.
Speaking of that, was one of the jacks going to help us with communication to the railroad regarding the sidewalk? And Wasn't there-
Yes,
was-
that was part of the agreement.
have you heard from Mr. Hulls?
We've not.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's going to require some action on both of our parties to get that going. It's not an easy process.
It still needs to be a comment on yours to remind us.
It does.
Stand
Yeah.
out.
yeah, we need it.
If you talk to
Yeah.
Mr. Hulls,
Yeah.
Ask him about that.
I know.
because he has, he seems to have magic phone numbers, I think.
Yeah, he does. It's a big red deny button sometimes.
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 All right. I think that's it for that.
I think, yeah.
All right. Item number 5, Ledgestone Performance Letter of Credit expires November 15th. Owner petitioner Diamond Peak, 1313 Whitehawk Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Are you representing this petitioner? All
All
right,
right, I have another
on.
concern
Hang
about
on.
drainage in
Hang on.
there.
hang on. Name and address again, please.
Michael Tiller, West Schilling Development, representing the petitioner of Ledgestone.
All right,
Do that, let's,
okay.
Yeah, but isn't it coming from there because you said Todd doesn't work for him anymore?
yeah. You can bring it up if
Okay.
you like.
You need different
right.
hats.
All right, Bob, what's your thoughts?
All right, in the stormwater, we have a resident that says the Ledgestone's is causing her to have flooding in that area. And I guess Todd's not with Whitehawk anymore.
This is a Lynn's Way parcel, Michael. It's down on Cary Street, somewhere down here. Right there. 15004 Cary Street. So Diamond Peak built the house to the south and they built her house. When this house was built, she started having issues with her fence, well, and her rear patio, which is a different issue.
I can't do it.
Apparently Diamond Peak made a commitment to basically tie all those roof drains in and run them to the back. And it never got
This is the
done.
north end of
So
Lisbon.
she's been coming to Storm Board the last couple months.
I thought it was north too, sir.
It was
Um,
on the northern end, west side, yeah.
Todd was handling it before he got let go. So
So they made a commitment to her to tie her
hers and this new guy, this Philip guy,
together.
together and get it out to the rear.
What's the address for it?
Hers is 15004 Cary Street.
The Cary Street sure pops up a lot, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, every day I see it.
You can talk to Scott or Jack.
Yeah.
Let me know.
And I just wanted to bring it up here because she sounds like she's just frustrated with not getting any results.
Like, so we recently just kind of took the lead back on this project from Diamond Peak, so that's new to us. We don't get relayed everything.
She wasn't working with time.
Yeah, just let me know what you hear.
Okay. Back to Ledgestone, letter of credit expires November 15th.
So we did just get surface on it Saturday, so it does have its full surface. So we're gonna be converting it to maintenance. And then reduction 10%.
Yeah,
And you're gonna inspect that when, Don?
for November.
For November 13th?
We've already been talking to Jack about it. I mean, if you remember, Ledgestone didn't have a lot of utilities in their letter of credit because they were already installed. They really just had adjustments. So the actual level of infrastructure inspections regarding utilities is actually pretty low. Like I said, it was adjusting stuff to grade, fire hydrants, some sanitary stuff, all that to grade. So it's really a lot of above ground stuff. I know we had some minor issues on some of the seeding of the ponds, but I think we should be fine.
I would say we're
That's taken care of. Yeah.
The infrastructure, did it go all the way around the north end of that depression?
Yeah, it's looped.
It
Yeah.
went, no, but I mean, originally when they got it, did it go all the way around
Yes.
then? It did
Yeah,
go
all the
way-
utilities were in minus, I think, some storm sewer stuff that we had to adjust because they changed the lot lines. But generally everything was in. Yeah, there were a lot of sewer taps, but these were multifamily before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so letter of credit, it's been dropped to minimum for a while. They got rid of the stockpile over here, which was one of the requirements to get some of their last building permits, which they've done. So yeah, we just have to get out there, see how paving went on Saturday, and we should be fine. Well before that. Yeah, another contingent vote probably. If we can't get it totally wrapped up by then, we'll try.
Well, when you get you get all your comments together.
Yep.
Get them to us.
Yep, we will. I don't envision any issues with it though.
We just want 2 more lots in there to build on in there. So,
Cool.
Okay. All right. Mr. Carnahan, anything else? Mr. Sharp?
No.
Mr. Foreman?
Yes, sir.
Mr. DeFour?
No.
Becker? Dessauer?
No, sir.
All right. Okay, guess we're good. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
Okay, update items. Rose Garden Phase 1 letter of credit. That was a discussion 2 weeks ago. Have they extended it?
The reason they would like to just extend it as it is, that's why this is not a public meeting.
Okay.
We have received a draft form that we got late today that they would review in the next few days.
Okay. Then Centennial Phase 12 letter of credit.
I believe a letter major packet. Yeah, they pretty much made all our repairs to roll it over. We went and re-inspected some of the repairs and some were a little off, but they're fixing them now. So I think in good faith, we had no problem rotating in maintenance. That went,
That was a check that we did, David, I believe that ratified. That was a check, there was not time to get the actual new letter of credit. So they just applied with a check.
They bring some cashier check back,
Yeah.
they're good.
and that check's sitting in the safe.
So they're good.
We just wanted to make sure that you guys knew.
Okay,
Thanks, Michelle.
all right. Then Summer Winds Unit 2, performance letter of credit.
All of these
Yeah,
together.
Summer Winds Unit 2 and 3, they'll likely be reduced down to 25%, but be maintained in performance. Right now, I believe Unit 2 is at 33% of the original and Unit 3 is around 50. As long as we get everything together regarding the as-built and inspections, those should reduce down to minimum. Beacon Point Units 3 and 4, we're working on those, but we've got time. Those aren't until 21.
Okay,
Yeah, and I think we've given them permission to surface. They're at 80%. Okay. Yeah, he just sent me a picture of them. Okay.
Jack wanted to be on for November. Have the
Okay. So,
so Jack will be back.
Jack Holt is the
Yeah.
one that said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think Beacon Point's completely sold out now, right? Jeez.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
That's the summer. That's the summer in a nutshell.
Surprise me all. I should have poured more on my pizza.
Yep. I don't sleep.
All right,
I don't sleep anymore.
I guess public comment.
Yeah, I got a couple questions.
Okay, who are these questions for?
This is for everybody.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to answer.
All right, let it rip.
When you go around the curve by the golf course, going to Bugaboos there's that house that sits right on a curve where he was in here to put a garage up.
Yep.
And then he wound up tearing it down and yada, yada. Well, he's got a light out there. And that original garage, the one that sits to the east. And when you come around that curve, it's pretty bright. So I don't know who would look into that or code enforcement or who, but
Jerry.
Jerry,
Listen, I don't have the ticket. I don't have the ticket, right? I don't have the ticket book.
Ask for Tim, he doesn't need this.
Right.
You got it, you got an extra one, right?
Half
Yeah,
of one.
Which one can I have? They're both full, right?
Did we just go
All
site
right.
plan?
well, anyway, take note on it because,
That's-
right, it's real bright when you come to that curve. Yeah, I don't know if it's been correct or not. I'll see on the way home with it.
Hey, I want to bring some up, Mr. Chairman.
Is this lighting
Plan
related?
commissioners, we last night hired a town manager for the town of Cedar Lake. The man has many, many years of experience in the planning world. And so I feel as though we anticipate Michelle and everyone in that department going to probably gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom and processes is maybe the right way to say it from this gentleman.
What's his name?
His name is Rick Eberly. He started his career, I think, with Dyer as a planning guy.
Town administrator, I thought.
And then he became the administrator, and then he went to St. John,
St. John.
retired, after he retired from Dyer, and And Jill Murr, our town administrator, is now joining Tim, I should say Michelle and Tammy in the building department to grow that department. So
Great.
we kind of have had a lateral move. Jill, as you guys may or may not even know, started as a clerk treasurer, deputy clerk treasurer. Did that for a few years, and after Ian departed, came over to the town administrator position. And so the team is being built, we hope in a good positive direction, hopefully take some workload off of Michelle and Tim and give Sarah some more clarity and not have 7 council folks trying to micromanage, various people within that room in there, because we need good, strong leadership. So I think that it'll be good for us here at the planning commission in weeks and months to come. So that's all I had.
Okay, when I first started, I said I had 2 questions.
Oh, I forgot to say. Sorry.
I've been waiting.
Go ahead, John.
As I go down 41, the old golf cart place, that is a used car or something now? Are they working out of there?
The old golf, no, you mean the stereo, vintage stereo shop?
No, they had the 2 guys red hair and
That's what they never came back. So the car lot, I'm not sure what's going on with the cars, but there is a new business in there.
On the east side or on the west side?
East side.
is that,
Billy's vintage stereo.
that's a stereo?
Is that even a thing? What is that?
Yeah, but there was nothing there for six. There was nothing there for
What
6.
is it?
Vintage stereo.
Go check it out.
Is it him?
Old RTA Victrolas and that's
Not
vintage.
I think like 1980s, like
Turntables?
Yamaha stereo.
Oh.
record player.
So they didn't need to come before the zoning
Who would
board.
want one of those if they-
Why did they not have to?
They meet the zoning.
But there was nothing there for more than 6 months, wasn't there?
Which would mean it would revert back to the previous zoning, which is the zoning that it is. the allowed use.
That answers my question.
So again. And so that's allowed by our rules, right? Okay. It's just bizarre to me that the town has no knowledge of those types of things taking place. Did they come for permits or anything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to tell us everything, dude.
No, I guess not.
You don't want to micromanage. do
No,
you,
we
John?
don't, we don't,
Okay.
we don't, Rick.
All right.
But I see what Jerry's saying. We didn't see a site plan, a parking plan. I mean, if you want to go down that road.
I'm thinking of Rosati's. They went from a pizza place to a pizza place and huh? No, you're gone, Jack. Okay. It was empty for 6 months. And I thought once something was empty for 6 months, it had to come back. Okay, so why did Rosati's have to come back in here after all that time for the same business?
They wanted to change the parking.
And the parking was big, wasn't it?
Yeah, they increased the capacity of the
Okay.
building.
No, believe you me, I don't want more government. I just want to know, it's a little weird that we as a town really don't have at least a $5 a year business license, so we know
Amen, brother.
what kind of businesses do we have in town, what kind do we want? And we tried that years ago.
That's what
And the
Facebook's for.
chamber chewed up Ian. Ian thought that was a good idea and the chamber thought it was insane.
We
I can,
absolutely should do that. Absolutely.
Well, the
And
chamber
it
will
shouldn't be
think it's
$5, it
insane.
should be $50 or something.
Yeah, 5 seem low.
well, I think a lot of business owners would dispute that. And you're a business owner, so apparently you don't.
I'd be more than happy to give my town a little bit of money.
But a lot of business owners' philosophy was, you already hit me up for storm drainage, you already hit me up for Little League fundraiser. There you go. So we're gonna clarify some of these discrepancies that we've been having for the last decade that I've been.
It would shed
Learning.
a little bit more light on what's going on. For sure.
It would also help those people who are on social media asking all these loaded questions and having people answer who have no idea what
Don't know
they're
what
talking
they're
about,
answering. Yep.
which creates more traffic at the counter.
Well, they come to all the meetings, so they know what's going on.
Man, there are a lot of people here tonight. You're right.
Speaking of, at the Hill, they tore down one of their houses behind there and they're gonna make it a beer garden.
Oh,
Where's the hill?
Melody Hill.
Melody
Oh, the
Hill.
Melody, the hill.
Melody Hill.
The Hill, and then that's the same place that's
Stretch it.
having, you know,
Melody Hill.
their marina, so-called marina.
Yeah, I didn't know you were talking about Melody Hill.
I mean, how, they don't have to come before us for any of this.
They will have to come if they want to increase their parking, do a site plan. That's hearsay again.
And they were telling,
The-
they were telling one of their,
Well, they need a beer
one of
garden
their
for the
customers
ballers.
that from the marina,
On Facebook, we'll be-
no, this is,
It's hearsay. It
I'm
is.
just, one of my neighbors who's a customer that rents a boat slip. They were told, oh yeah, they're tearing down one of these houses, they're gonna make it a beer garden. And sure enough, the house got torn down 4 or 5 weeks later.
Is there a permit for that tear down? Did anybody know how the marina got started? 2 businesses, 1 piece of property, no parking plan. Anybody know how that happened?
I think it was zone multifamily back in 1939, wasn't it, Chair?
Was it a vacant business?
Yeah,
Where
we're
was
back.
the marina?
We're back to that
Yeah.
again. We're back to that again.
It just appeared.
No, it
Doesn't
didn't. really- I'm not asking a question I already know the answer to, John.
I know you are. That's your MGO.
So if they had a beer garden or parking, I mean, aren't they supposed to come to us?
One would think.
That's why I'm saying, that's why I think as we move forward, it's gonna be great, because sometimes we let people just do things and they get away with it, and then other times, guys come here a year ago, right after the man came here the day that person died, pulling out of their driveway. I remember it. I was like shocked to see that gentleman here. And he came to this meeting and started that process on the day then, right? And so it's been a long time, and I just feel like, like David summed it up perfectly. This should all be handled administratively through our processes that are written and documented, and when we get up here, we all approve. Has it been good, Michelle? Yep. Michelle says, yep. Done. Yes or no, based on our opinions of it, you know?
We've been saying it for 3 years. We're supposed to have a checklist right up there.
So,
Check, you know.
but you gotta remember, this little building department has been slammed, swamped, and
They're
then some.
constantly slammed.
How
I mean,
they
need more help.
aren't going nuts.
So-
Michelle, you're amazing. You've done a great job. I just don't know how you juggle so many things. You've done a super job. So,
She's got
unbelievable.
I come in on my days off and help.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
So speaking of,
There's always stuff. I mean, there's always stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I don't envy you.
It just depends who picks out what things, but
What
that,
stuff?
that whole thing over there with the marina and the families own that property since Lord only knows what, all those people in that family are absolutely nuts, and in their mind, that has been a resort since 1927.
Yeah, Samara Resorts, dude.
So has it been, has it not been?
But the ordinance, but the ordinance,
And again,
states
as soon as-
otherwise.
And as soon as they are gonna increase their parking and actually turn that marina into something, something's gonna have to happen there. They got a permit from the DNR to put their little slips in their boat.
yes, have you read that permit?
What they've been doing at this point, yeah, I read it.
Okay.
What they've been doing up to this point is definitely pushing the limits of what they've ever been doing.
See, that's another good reason for
The limits.
licensing the businesses in town. Even your dog needs a license, but you don't have to have a license to operate a business.
And again, I think with the town manager and some things happening, some of this stuff is gonna be helpful. I mean, we can only do
Okay.
so many things a day.
So-
This stuff, it's like going to, like breaking your arm
no.
and then chopping it off to go ask for one of those nightmares at this point in our day. It is.
Yep.
It's like you'd rather just go jump in the lake and have somebody stand under it than you would go open that. camera. It's hard. It's hard in your day, I mean, your daily basis just to keep up.
Well,
Well, you too have been juggling.
Once
three.
it gets to the point, I mean, obviously, they're not gonna be able to continue to add parking and grow their business, which they think they're going to. but they're not.
They have parking. They go across the street. and park.
Well, they have, it's
They
very,
park across the street.
yeah, they park anywhere. They got approval to have,
See the.
they got approval to have that one thing for Lord only knows what to do, God only knows what.
What are you talking about?
They came to the
I don't
council
even
and got approval to have a motorcycle rodeo rally beer garden. Special thing without any, I mean, okay.
Nice.
Did they not?
Nice.
No limit, I mean, I tried, I'm like, no, I mean, just go for it.
Well, back to the juggling. Who's going to be going out doing inspections?
Which side
Who's
of
going to be
it?
doing home
We-
inspections?
Carrie, this is step one, hiring a manager, so we don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna learn.
And he didn't start till the 19th, right,
But-
Tim?
You
No,
know,
that's not what I'm asking. John's talking about changing of the guards a little bit, and I'm
We don't
asking.
know what-
the
and
town
I'm asking-
manager's really gonna dictate and direct.
Yeah.
Except,
They'll be in charge.
except we did say that the code enforcer is coming to the building department.
Right.
Will do code enforcing and do building inspections. And they're hiring 2 part-time building inspectors.
Correct.
So Mr. Kubiak will not be out in the field doing inspections
He's
anymore.
going to
He'll
move,
back clean
he's
up if
moving
need
to
be,
the
but no.
street department.
Public Works Director is his new role. Effective.
It may not happen all October 19th. It's going to be a process.
I just wanted
Because
to
he
share
does
with
a
you
whole
guys.
lot.
But you know what, I just want to say one more thing. We all should be thinking about the various little lots, if along Morris and Lakeshore Drive, that maybe the town might need to have for parking lots, so we can encourage people to do little businesses that don't have ample parking. I think about the chamber, that should be a public parking lot, right? People could then walk. We're trying to do some things around Lakeshore Drive, down Morris, change some zoning. There's been some talk, with the Brunt Farm. Right now, it's zoned B1 in front, so those folks would have ample place to put a business. But if we want to make this community some little businesses, guitar lessons, piano lessons, music lessons, hair, nail salons, everyone can't park at Cubal's place, right? So if we run across various areas that make logical sense for our walking path to then turn some of these little houses into businesses, we just need a few parking lots along the way, maybe throw some meters and make it accessible so that the business owners don't always have to supply all the parking, because it's not doable in most instances.
Well, they have to have someplace safe to walk, right? Like you can't
Yeah,
walk
for
from
sure.
the chamber to Rosati's.
Not yet. That's our objective and goal, but not yet. You're right. Like we own that little lot across the street from this town grounds. I always thought, well, maybe make that a little municipality parking lot if something happens along Morris, for example. But if we had multiple little parking lots, and that was my mindset with JoJo's a while back, but that district is more drive, but
Yeah.
anyhow, just think about it
That-
moving forward, because these things are going to be talked about.
That lot across from the church where the food trucks park, does the town own that?
Not
Well, we
anymore.
sold
it.
We
Sold it.
closed on it a week ago, so that guy
Okay.
can't go there.
So if it's still used for food trucks, they have to come in and get a permit for that day, correct?
I have no clue on. I didn't write that
That's
permit
correct.
for the food truck, but I would assume so.
That's correct. Okay, now my question is, that's a business. Shouldn't there be buffer zones, at least on 2 sides for the residents? There's a residence to the east and there's a residence to the south. So shouldn't there be a buffer zone there?
There will
And-
be when there's a business, yes.
Well, it's being used as a business lot.
They were granted approval for special events or
But it's not our land anymore. So that's gone.
Richard Teal owns it.
Yeah.
Right. The guy that owns
It's
the
not their-
recycling.
I know what you're talking about, but my point still is, if it's a business, it's on a gravel lot, it should be paved, and it should have buffer zones. If you're gonna stick to your ordinances, like you're making Rory do, and everybody else, 99% of the time they come in there. So if Rich owns it, he's well aware of buffer zones for all he's went through in this town with buffer zones.
He should be.
And if they're gonna have
That was
food
like
trucks
also temporary.
and cars,
No, he's not gonna do food trucks.
if they're gonna have food trucks and cars parked over there, it needs to be paved.
A business there, a building.
It was a temporary
He anticipates
approval till the
building
end of the year, that's it.
Till the end of the year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
joint.
Hang on, hang on, hang
And
on.
then we
was a
had a
temp-
food truck that went there and they didn't show us their health permit. And then, so when we asked for the health permit, they moved somewhere else. They were out there by two old goats.
You been hanging out there again?
No. I'm just telling you.
You, Rick, been hanging out there?
Shut up, Foreman.
Tim, Tim,
I want to send you back to the fire department.
one more time, Tim.
I said
You
the
said-
food truck thing was a temporary deal till the end of this year, just to see what a food truck brought to the community. That's all it was, a test. This is only a test.
That's fine. That's not the way it was presented to us.
That's the way it happened, though.
Yeah, but,
That's how it
but
went down.
here again, you know,
Right. And
lack
again,
of
I don't know
information
who
is
is supposed to
dangerous.
communicate everything to everybody. That's why there's different people on every boards. So I don't know who.
I didn't know
Like,
how long-
everybody seems, it seems like every meeting, somebody's pissed off about something they didn't hear from somebody else.
Oh,
But-
excuse me, I'm not pissed off.
No, but I'm just saying, everybody's like, well, I didn't hear that, I didn't hear that, I didn't hear this, I don't know, like, I don't get it. I feel like I'm in third grade.
The
Everybody's
food-
like, I didn't tell them
The
the
food
secret
truck
of the
thing
day.
started
That's where you finish.
where the
That's
way,
the-
where the
that's
food
what you
truck
told-
started,
what's her
it never
name?
went.
Second, oh, you told
That's why
her
this
second.
other guy jumped in. I didn't know when it was up,
We didn't hear about that.
so that's what the special event thing's about.
Yes, sir.
Special occasion, special event.
Especially back then.
Okay, any other thoughts? Public comment? No?
I have a question.
Yeah,
What's going on across from the lookout on Lakeshore Drive?
What's going on Lakeshore Drive?
Yeah,
Shilling.
DDG was there, lots of stuff's been going on. What's
Yeah,
going on?
so the Schilling Development bought Eller Brady and that little woods and everything.
Yeah,
And they're working on basically a private-public partnership concept that is
Yeah.
being vetted through the RDC to create a commercial residential area, not giving up any green space, making it more lake accessible for the public.
by commercial residential, you mean mixed use, commercial. and
Yeah,
bottom,
like,
commercial on top?
yeah, we're not exactly sure yet, but yeah, mixed use, maybe some residential on top, maybe terrace that a little bit and make it so you have kind of like I always refer to New Buffalo, Michigan, kind of something like that.
How are they not gonna get rid of green space?
Because most of the dirt that would get removed is not usable today from a green space point. And Potawatomi Park, they would make a boardwalk that would be open to the public. And Potawatomi Park all stays, so on and so forth.
So Potawatomi's gonna stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you're talking
So
about,
there's a lot of concept stuff in the works, but we don't really have definitive anything yet, Heather, but
so where
It needs-
would Lakeshore Drive go?
we don't know. This is all
So the hill
conceptual.
would have to be cut down and cut back?
We don't know. It's conceptual ideas that have been floated through the RDC and
Public Works is right there too.
Public Works is right there too.
That's in play.
That's in play. So we don't know a whole lot other than it's pie in the sky stuff at the RDC level that could come to fruition and could not, right? You never know. It's a little bit better than the downtown area by the East Side Dairy Queen that we concepted, because these people actually own all of the land and we're not displacing people. And it's a little more than the downtown area that we put on this property in the pie in the sky, private-public partnership concept. But as of now, it's almost like that because there's nothing definitive. So we'll see what happens, but it could be kind of neat if some of that happens, and we'll know about it when it does at this board level. But as of today, there hasn't been, other than pie in the sky discussions. Dave, did they bring it up to RDC a little bit?
Yeah, they did,
Bluffs?
and they did, and that's probably about where your line is
Yeah.
to talk about it,
Yeah, correct.
given.
Yeah.
Given agreements, MOUs that are in place, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Bluffs is in the noun or bluffs is in the verb?
Way over it.
And then now,
Okay.
What about the YMCA?
I
Anything
do
new on
know
that?
the difference.
I don't know anything about the YMCA, other than they were not, I emailed Jill 2 days ago, they were not on the agenda
They weren't on this agenda?
for tonight. So I don't know what's going on at all. So, Dave, you haven't heard anything yet?
There's some kind of a submission very cursory.
Yeah.
Within the last 2 days.
But we will see them again.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
So whoever's gonna talk to them,
My point
are
is
they
they're
gonna
not
bring
skipping over
something in
us
here?
Someplace else.
Not to our knowledge.
Are they gonna bring something in here of something new next time?
Yes,
She is
yes,
gonna
they
let
will.
them come in unless it's substantive.
They have an extension till January 14th with the golf course.
It's plenty of time.
They haven't signed a contract with John yet either, right?
They signed a contract, but they haven't signed the papers to purchase. They're on a contract to buy, but they haven't signed the paperwork to purchase yet. They asked for extension to January 14th, which was granted to them.
Just like we talked earlier tonight, that developers need to talk with your staff first and review with staff and engineering first. That's what's gonna happen here. Michelle's not gonna let them come before you, put them on an agenda until they've done that.
I only know that stuff from Johnny Hayes, because I see him on.
No, I know, I understand.
Well, I just figured they wanna slip in here, you know, when they didn't have an audience like the last time.
You got Watchdog Baker on it.
You think they're gonna get past that
Ooh, I like that name. That's cool.
Southside
Not,
Association?
not easily, no.
Yeah,
We
I like
adjourned?
Huh?
Get the Bulldog, it's bad.
Get past South Shore? You don't think they can?
I don't think they'll come in here without the South Shore Association knowing about it.
That's,
Hey, Jerry, respectfully, are we done?
Yeah,
They never adjourned.
hey, we're done.